What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today we are going to talk more about Social Security. The reason why I want to talk about Social Security today is actually pretty simple. We are now starting to hear from lawmakers that this insolvency date in 2034, or actually 2033, this is something that is very concerning because this is not a set date. This is a forecast. And so now lawmakers are coming out and saying, oh, well, this is a forecast. We better do something soon. So what are they planning? Well, that's what I want to discuss in today's video. All I ask is if you enjoy these daily uploads, do me a favor and please go ahead, hit that like button. It really does help out the channel. Now, what are lawmakers even considering? Well, first off, here's what's happening. Lawmakers are actually negotiating more in private. These discussions are happening behind closed doors. There's not very many leaks. And the reason why is because when information leaks about a possible bill, the media gets it, and then, people on, TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, they get that information. They start to then go and spread it. And when that information gets spread and the American people don't like it, they voice their opinion. And lawmakers do not want another person's opinion. They only want to try to figure out a way to make it work. The vast majority of people would like it and benefit from it, and that's what they want to move forward with. The problem is when information gets leaked and it gets out to the American people and they voice their opinion and they're concerned about it, or they really like a certain bill but there's not enough support behind it, guess what? Now, all the lawmakers that are voting against it or not bringing it to the floor are now looked at as the bad guy. Because, well, why wouldn't they brought that to the floor? That was an incredible bill. Those were great policies. That's the issue. Okay? So, the discussions that are being had now, according to multiple reports, there's going to be very little information coming out about them. But we do have some reports. Now, what many people are worried about, okay, is that any serious negotiation between party leaders, okay, this would be President Biden, this would be, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, Speaker Kevin McCarthy, people like that, they are worried that these are not going to happen before the presidential election. So we are not. And again, everybody was saying 2023 was the year of Social Security, and you can blame me for that too, because that's what we were told, and I spread that news as well. Guess what? Now we all look like liars because 2023 might not be the year of Social Security. This is where we may see some discussions. This is where we may see some movement, but as far as getting a bill done, it's looking less and less likely at this time. Okay. Again, just last week they were saying, oh, it's a possibility, but now they're saying, well, we may have to take a step back because we have to worry about what's coming up, and that is the election. Experts also say that with each passing year without an agreement, it's going to cause an eventual bill that will really hurt the American people. What do they mean by that? Well, experts predict that raising the full retirement age is a must. It's not something that we should consider. It's something that is going to happen. That is one of the reasons why Democrats do not want to vote on this bill until after the presidential election, because they now know, or they now expect, raising the full retirement age is a must, not something that is just being considered. The other thing is there a very good chance we will not change the calculation for the cost of living adjustment, okay, or COLA. The expectation is we will not be changing to the CPI-E anytime soon, just because it actually increases the amount of money that the Social Security Trust would actually pay out every single month. The other one, this is a big one. This is where we could potentially see a $600 decrease, okay? And this is why this is a major issue, because right now, this is being discussed as a $600 increase, but according to this report, there's a possibility of capping or simply suspending the cost of living adjustment. Now, when I saw this report come out, a few days ago, I thought that can't be right. That can't be true. Looking at over many different articles, talking to different people as well, and just seeing what lawmakers are considering, that this is a possibility. And I want to explain why, but this is a $600 loss, okay? Right now, Social Security, the Social Security cost of living adjustment for 2024, it's expected to be at 2.7% right now. That's as of today. We don't have the new reports for the new inflation report yet. So once we get that, we're going to have a better idea from there. But as of right now, it's 2.7%. If inflation keeps on dropping, the expectation is, or just based off of simple math, we are going to see the cost of living adjustment come down as well. If it does, there's a chance we could be under 2%. But at 2.7%, that's $49.50 per month. So roughly $50 a month that you would lose out if they suspend the cost of living adjustment. Or that's $600 per year. Okay? So that is being discussed as a possibility. I want to explain why in just a second. The other thing is that $200 per month boost to Social Security. President Biden has to move forward with this, or at least propose something, and then Congress can shoot it down. And then the Supreme Court can block it. But according to experts, President Biden pretty much needs to propose something or sign some he needs to do some type of something, okay? And as to what, we don't know. Okay? Could he come out and say that he's going to provide a $200 increase per month to Social Security recipients? Yes, he could. And according to experts, he needs to do that. The reason why, even though he doesn't, I don't think he has the legal authority to do that, he needs to come out and try, just like he did with the student loan forgiveness, because if he doesn't, according to these reports, President Biden will be a one-term president. The people will not vote for him. So that's what's going on with the $200 per month increase. But let's get back to that possibly capping or suspending the cost of living adjustment. Why would they do this? Well, here's the reason why. According to reports, capping the cost of living adjustment would decrease monthly payouts. And it would. Right now, the monthly payouts are, fairly high. But if we see a 2.7% cost of living adjustment, this goes to all beneficiaries. Guess what? That means the Social Security Trust Fund is losing an additional 2.7% every single month. Crazy, but that is what they're going to do. Now, it says with these people collecting benefits during a high COLA year, it speeds up the insolvency date. So even though there's a possibility that we may not see a cap to the cost of living adjustment in 2024, if we go back through a very similar cycle, what we just did, let's say they were to pass this, back in 2008, right? Well, once we hit that 8.7% cost of living adjustment, Social Security would have capped it. Okay, the law would have capped it at, let's say, 5%. That's what they're discussing, because they can't afford another high cost of living adjustment year. Okay? But again, it all comes based off of inflation. But if you block it or you put a cap on that, the worry is that it is actually going to hurt the American people, which it would. But could Congress do this next year or within the next few years? The answer is yes. According to this one expert, she says that multiple people within her office are worried that the Social Security Administration would need to take extraordinary measures, just like the Treasury had to do recently during the debt crisis. So think about that for a second. Right now, the Social Security Administration, they're worried that, for one, they don't have enough funding, so that causes them to struggle a little bit. But the Democratic Party, they want to provide additional funding to the Social Security Administration. By providing additional funding to the Social Security Administration, it would mean that the Social Security Administration could hire more workers. They could actually start sending out benefits sooner. Guess what they're trying not to do? Send out benefits sooner. Where when you go and make a claim, when you go and try to collect your benefits, they pretty much push you off for months. The reason why they kind of want to do that anyway is because they don't want to speed up the amount of money going out. And so when you think about it, it makes perfect sense. So Democrats, even though they were hoping to get more money for the SSA, they're actually not opposed to getting nothing, or actually seeing a cut to the Social Security Administration's budget, simply because more money to them means they can hire more workers and more money goes out every single month. It's crazy. This is what's going on. Also, talking about the taking extraordinary measures. The Social Security Trust Fund, once it becomes insolvent, okay, it's different than what we had with the U.S. government and the Treasury being able to borrow money and doing all this stuff. Okay, it's a little bit different. But this person makes a very valid point. What if the Social Security Administration has to take extraordinary measures, and in order to give people 77%, which is a 23% cut, guess what? They're only going to give them, let's say, 60%. Or certain people are going to get paid on certain months. That's going to create a major problem, but that's what experts are saying is part of the worry. Now, here's the warning that Congress is giving us. I want to just give you this really quick. Talked about it a little bit in the beginning of this video, but here's the warning that Congress is giving us. They say the insolvency date is simply a forecast based on our current outlook. And if the economy doesn't cooperate, and this means things like employment, if employment goes down, if wages drop, if unemployment skyrockets, right, which means more people are collecting benefits, or collecting unemployment benefits, not really paying into the Social Security income, the income tax, right? That 12.4%, which is 6.2% you, 6.2% your employer. If people aren't paying that, guess what? They're not getting money, right? They also say if we dip into a recession, which means more layoffs, people stop spending, right? Money's just sitting there. It's not going into the Social Security Administration or the Social Security Trust. Inflation. If we see inflation drop, then the American people should have more money to spend. But if inflation drops, the cost of living adjustment drops as well. But if it goes the other way, well, it means the cost of living adjustment goes up. People have less money to spend. Just creates another major problem. So they say if the economy doesn't cooperate, then this changes the possible insolvency date. And if more people decide to retire, right now, the Social Security Administration has pretty much an expectancy of or how many people will retire every single day. Okay. But they say if this speeds up, the insolvency date will become sooner. Again, this insolvency date in 2033, this is a forecast based off current outlook, right? So that's the major news regarding negotiations, is that right now lawmakers are saying that this is just a forecast. It doesn't mean that we have 10 years to figure out how we're going to fix it. We have to fix it now. We have to fix it today, because if we don't, the cuts, the adjustments, the possible increases, the negotiation is going to be absolutely brutal. Every single year we get closer to that potential insolvency date. So that's what I got for you guys today. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day. Again, thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing. I'll see you guys on the next one.